Let me tell you something straight. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like the world has you in a headlock, you're not alone. That feeling, that pressure, that frustration, that moment where you look at your life and say, there's got to be more than this. That's not just your problem. That's the beginning of your awakening. Every person you admire today, every millionaire you hear about, every business owner you see living their dream, they all started there. They've sat in silence with self-doubt. They've stared at bills they couldn't pay. They've questioned their worth, their path, their purpose. What separates the ones who rise isn't talent or luck. It's what they decided to do next. They didn't get bitter, they got better. They didn't stay stuck, they got strategic. If you've got 6 months, just 6 months of obsession, discipline, and unrelenting hunger, you can reinvent yourself. You can go from feeling trapped to being unstoppable. This is your invitation, or step 1, radical personal responsibility. This is where it starts, my friend. You cannot become a millionaire pointing fingers. You can't build wealth with a victim mindset, or blaming your boss, your parents, your ex, your economy, or your past might feel emotionally satisfying in the moment, but it won't pay your bills, it won't create options, and it certainly won't build the life you want. The turning point in my life wasn't when I found the right job or read the right book. It was when I looked in the mirror and said, Jim, this is your fault. Not in a way that brought shame, but in a way that gave me power. Because if it's your fault, then it's also your fix. That's liberation. Waiting for someone else to rescue you is a trap, because no one's coming. When you accept full ownership of your results, good or bad, you begin writing your future, not just reliving your past. That's when transformation begins. Step 2, set a clear, uncompromising financial goal. Let me be as direct as possible. Vague goals produce vague results. When you say, I want more money, that could mean an extra $10, and your brain doesn't know the difference. You need clarity, urgency, and focus. Now write this down. I will earn $1 million in the next 6 months. That number isn't just about money, it's about identity. It forces your mind to stretch, to focus, to prioritize. Tape it on your wall. Write it in your journal. Whisper it in the morning and shout it at night. Make it so clear that your entire nervous system wakes up to serve it. Why 6 months? Because someday is not a real day. Deadlines create direction. When the goal is distant, the actions stay passive. But when the clock is ticking, everything changes. Your habits shift. Your urgency intensifies. You stop wasting time and you start making moves. Specificity isn't optional. It's your secret weapon. Step 3, inventory your skills, assets, and market. This is the step most people skip, and it's the very one that unlocks the door. You have value. You've got skills, talents, and insights that someone else is willing to pay for. But if you don't identify them, you can't monetize them. Start by asking, what do I know how to do better than most? You don't need to be world-class. You just need to be useful. Whether it's writing, designing, organizing, selling, teaching, coding, or just encouraging, someone out there has a problem, and your skill is the answer. Once you know your skills, you find your market. Who is in pain that your gift can solve? That's where the money is. Wealth is not found in chasing trends. It's in solving timeless problems. So take inventory. What do you have? What can you offer? And most importantly, who's looking for it right now? Your 6-figure idea is already inside you. Step 4, find or build a scalable vehicle. You can't earn $1 million in 6 months doing it all by yourself. Not manually. Not trading time for money, not with one-to-one transactions. You need scale. You need a model that multiplies your effort without multiplying your exhaustion. That's what systems do. They free you from the hamster wheel. This could be an online course, a subscription model, an affiliate income stream, a licensing deal, or an agency that runs without you present. The key is simple. Can it grow while you sleep? If you're not making money in your sleep, you'll be working until you die. That's not wealth. That's slavery in disguise. The rich don't hustle 24/7, they build infrastructure. They automate, delegate, replicate. They build something once and sell it 1,000 times. Whether it's software, strategy, or storytelling, build it so that your time is no longer the limit. That's how you shift from income to impact. Step 5, create a ruthless daily routine. You can't build $1 million life with minimum wage habits. And I don't mean just your job, I mean your discipline, your time management, your energy protection. Routine is your real resume. It tells me who you are, what you value, and what you're becoming. You can say you want success, but your daily behavior will always tell the truth. Wake up early, not to look busy, but to beat the noise. Or block your calendar like your dream depends on it, because it does. Plan your meals, your workouts, your learning, your outreach. Don't let your day control you. Design it. The most successful people I've met aren't lucky, they're consistent. They live by routines that reflect their goals, not their moods. So ask yourself, does your current routine match your $1 million goal? If not, it's time to upgrade. Obsess over your calendar until your calendar starts producing the life you dream about. Step 6, multiply momentum through people and platforms. You cannot win this race in isolation. Success is social. Money flows through networks, through people, conversations, audiences, and collaborations. If no one knows you, no one can pay you. You've got to get visible. That means building your platform, post the video, write the newsletter, host the webinar, show up consistently, and then go find people, mentors, partners, customers, allies. See your value and help you scale it. The bigger your reach, the bigger your revenue. And don't just wait to be discovered. Build your tribe, build your community. Talk to people, help people. Share your message with courage and conviction. Obscurity is the most expensive problem an entrepreneur can have. So don't be afraid to be seen. Don't be afraid to be heard. The moment you start hiding is the moment you start shrinking. And your dream is too big to stay invisible. Let the world know you've arrived. Now that you have the 6 steps, let's dive deeper into the mindset. Because here's the truth that too many people overlook. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. You could have the perfect plan, the right strategy, all the tools, and even the opportunity handed to you, but if deep down you don't believe you deserve it, you'll find a way to sabotage it. You'll delay, hesitate, play small, or worse, talk yourself out of your own potential. I've seen it time and time again. That's why the internal work is just as vital as the external hustle. Every morning you need to renew your belief. Speak it aloud. I am worthy of wealth. I am becoming a person of value. I am walking in abundance. You've got to feed your mind with faith, not fear. Because once your belief system shifts, your actions follow. And once your actions align with wealth, it starts to chase you. Let's talk about urgency. If you want to know the difference between someone who makes it and someone who never does, it's usually urgency. See, urgency doesn't mean panic. It means priority. It means you treat your dream like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Well, this isn't just about dollars. It's about dignity. It's about freedom, autonomy, options, and the ability to say yes when it matters most. Urgency makes you look at the clock differently. It makes you ask questions like, how can I move faster? What can I do today that brings me closer to my 6-month goal? The truth is, the longer you wait to get serious, the deeper the cost. The cost of missed time, missed opportunities, missed lessons. So burn the bridges, set the deadline, eliminate the escape routes. This is your 6-month sprint. You can't treat it like a hobby and expect it to pay like a business. Go all in. Here's something that's criminally underrated, tracking your progress. You wouldn't board a plane without checking if it's heading toward the right city, so why would you try to build wealth without checking your direction? Progress is fuel. When you track your actions, you create clarity. When you see your numbers, your sales, your meetings, your growth, you gain momentum. That's what separates the amateurs from the pros. You need a scoreboard, get a whiteboard, open a spreadsheet. Use a notebook if you must. Write down your weekly wins, your contacts made, your content posted, your revenue generated. And don't just track outcomes, track your input. Did you follow your routine? Did you do the hard thing today? Or did you face the fear? Did you stay focused? That data becomes your mirror. It keeps you honest. It keeps you motivated. And most importantly, it proves that what you're doing is working. Without progress tracking, you're driving blindfolded. And that's a crash waiting to happen. Let me give you a rule I've lived by for decades. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because if you grow, you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything around you will grow to match it. Your income rises to meet your identity. Your influence expands to match your wisdom. You can't outperform your self-image for long. So invest in it. Read the books that challenge you. Take the courses that stretch your capacity. Go to the seminars that lift your standards, or find mentors that inspire and correct you. Learn from people who've already done what you want to do, and then do what they did. Success leaves clues, but you've got to be humble enough to follow them. You don't need to reinvent everything. Just take the blueprint and personalize it with consistency. Every new habit you build, every toxic mindset you shed, every hour you spend growing, that's money in the bank. Because personal development is permanent equity. It compounds forever. Now let's address fear. Fear is the gatekeeper to every version of your next level. You will feel it. That's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign you're alive. It's proof that you're stretching into unfamiliar territory. But here's the mistake most people make. They wait for fear to disappear before they act. That's backwards. Action dissolves fear, not the other way around. When you hesitate, you let fear build a fortress in your mind. But when you move forward, even trembling, you take the power back. Some of your biggest paydays will be sitting right behind the doors you're afraid to open. That scary conversation, that bold pitch, that uncomfortable leap. Those are signs, not stop signs. Courage isn't about having no fear. It's about deciding the dream is more important than the fear. The wealthiest people I've met weren't born brave. They were trained by fire. They learned to move through the fear, not around it. Another tool you need in your 6-month sprint is ruthless elimination of distraction. Distraction is the silent killer of destiny. It doesn't show up like an enemy. It shows up like entertainment, like scrolling, like endless notifications, like gossip, like that one episode that turns into 6. But you've got to protect your focus like a vault. Because your ability to stay focused in a distracted world, that's a superpower. Delete the apps if you have to. Put your phone in another room. Block off deep work hours like your life depends on it, because it does. Every hour you give to distraction is an hour stolen from your $1 million future. You've got to starve your distractions and feed your vision. Remember, the dream requires sacrifice. That means saying no to good things so you can say yes to great things. Laser focus isn't just about productivity, it's about identity. It's who you become when you choose vision over noise. Let's talk about consistency. You see, motivation is powerful, but it's not reliable. Some days you wake up ready to conquer the world, and other days, well, you don't even want to get out of bed. That's why you need something deeper than motivation. You need discipline. Discipline shows up when emotion doesn't. It's what builds your character, not just your confidence. You don't have to be extreme, you just have to be consistent. Or consistency is the secret sauce of every millionaire I've ever met. It's not what they did one time, it's what they did every single day without fail. The sales calls, the follow-ups, the content, the workouts, the journaling, the growth. They made it non-negotiable. They didn't wait for inspiration, they made inspiration irrelevant. Remember, the gap between your dream and your results is filled with daily habits. Show up even when no one's clapping. Show up even when it's boring. That's the path to 6-figure months. Let me remind you of this. No one is coming to save you. And that's not a threat. It's a blessing. Because once you realize that the cavalry isn't coming, you stop waiting and start creating. You become your own rescuer, your own provider, your own strategist. You start building instead of begging. You move from dependence to dominion. The truth is, waiting for external permission to start living your dream is the biggest delay tactic in existence. Nobody's going to hand you the blueprint, the audience, or the funding. You've got to take the initiative. Or start messy, start small. Start with whatever you've got in your hands. Most people die with potential still locked inside them, not because they weren't gifted, but because they were waiting for someone else to unlock it. Are the key. You are the answer. You are the one you've been waiting for. So stop waiting and start acting like your future depends on you, because it does. Another principle that changed my life: serve before you sell. If you want to make $1 million in 6 months, don't ask, how can I take more? Ask, how can I give more value to more people? Because wealth is a byproduct of value. When you solve problems at scale, when you make someone's life easier, when you save them time, money, or emotional pain, money follows. That's why generosity, creativity, and empathy are not just good character traits, they're business strategies. People can feel when you're in it for them versus in it for yourself. Build your brand on service. Answer questions for free. Post content that educates, motivates, and inspires. You have so much value that people feel guilty not to pay you. The law of reciprocity will take care of the rest. In a world full of takers, be the one who gives, strategically, consistently, and sincerely. That's how you become magnetic to opportunity, income, and impact. Let's talk about the power of environment. You cannot become a millionaire surrounded by people who are committed to mediocrity. It's not that they're bad people, but they've accepted a version of life you're trying to outgrow. And if you're not careful, their beliefs will become your ceiling. Environment is stronger than willpower. That's why you've got to be intentional about who and what surrounds you. Create a space that makes you feel like a creator, not a consumer. Or get in rooms that raise your standards. Follow people who challenge your thinking. Build a network where winning is normal, not rare. And let go of the environments that keep pulling you back into smallness. That might mean distancing from certain friends, muting certain voices, or even leaving physical spaces that drain you. Growth requires friction. It requires sacrifice. But trust me, when you change your environment changes you. And sometimes that shift alone is worth 6 figures. Next, become obsessed with execution. Ideas are cheap. Talk is cheap. Hype is cheap. Everyone has a dream, but very few have a work ethic that matches it. If you want to build real wealth in 6 months, don't just gather information. Apply it. Don't just consume content. Create results. Execution is what builds the bridge from theory to transformation. It's easy to overthink, to plan endlessly, to tweak and tinker. But perfectionism is just procrastination in disguise. You learn more by doing than you ever will by thinking. So ship the product, launch the service, make the call, knock on the door, get feedback, adapt, and improve. The marketplace doesn't reward potential, it rewards proof. So take massive, imperfect action, make decisions faster, learn faster, adjust faster. Every day ask yourself, what did I do to move the needle? Not what did I read or plan, what did I execute? That's the habit that separates the rich from the rest. Here's something you must understand. Adversity is part of the process. Don't be surprised when challenges come. Expect them. In fact, welcome them. Because adversity is the gym of greatness. It's where your strength gets tested and your identity gets forged. Most people quit at the first sign of resistance. But if you want to become a millionaire in 6 months, you've got to learn how to lean into discomfort. Rejection, it's a redirection. Failure, it's feedback. Delay, it's preparation. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity in disguise. The question is not, will I face problems? Who will I become in the face of them? Or when you refuse to fold, when you keep showing up despite the storm, that's when you earn the right to rise. So stop praying for easy. Pray for strength. Pray for wisdom. Pray for resilience. Because those traits, not talent, are what make millionaires. You don't become wealthy by avoiding pain. You become wealthy by transforming it. And finally, remember your why. Because when the journey gets tough, and it will, your why is what will keep you going. Money is great, but it's not enough to keep you in the fight. You need something deeper. Maybe it's giving your children the life you never had. Maybe it's retiring your parents. Maybe it's proving to yourself that you're more than your past. Maybe it's simply becoming the person God created you to be, fully, boldly, unapologetically. Whatever it is, write it down. Tattoo it on your heart. Because when the motivation fades and the challenges multiply, your why becomes your anchor. It becomes your fire. Don't just chase dollars, chase destiny. Don't just chase income, chase impact. And never forget, the world doesn't need more millionaires. It needs more leaders, more givers, more builders. Your wealth journey isn't just for you. It's for everyone you'll bless along the way. So go all in. The clock is ticking. Your 6-month miracle starts now. Let's talk people again. Environment is stronger than willpower. If you're surrounded by broke thinkers, complainers, and skeptics, you're playing the game with weights on your ankles. Find your tribe. Find the ones who are building, creating, pushing forward. You need to be around people who stretch your thinking, not shrink it. Get in rooms where the conversations are about equity, impact, and strategy, not gossip and complaints. Now, one of the most powerful tools you'll use in this journey: decision. Not wishing, not hoping. Deciding. A decision is a line in the sand. It says, this is who I am now. When you truly decide to become a millionaire, your behavior changes instantly. Your time, your habits, your language, they all shift. Most people don't get rich because they haven't decided to. They're still flirting with success instead of marrying it. Decide and then follow through. Let's go deeper. Service. You will never make $1 million without deeply helping people. It might be through products, coaching, innovation, convenience, beauty, but it must help. Greed will only get you so far. Generosity scales. When you focus on impact, the income follows. So ask yourself every week, how many people did I help this week? How many lives did I touch? What value did I provide? That's how you print money ethically. Here's a Jim Rohn classic for you. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. And in 6 months, you can become a completely different version of yourself. You can go from stuck to wealthy, from confused to clear, from invisible to irresistible. But it starts with hunger. Are you hungry enough to change your patterns? Are you hungry enough to trade comfort for growth? Are you hungry enough to become who you were always meant to be? Or let me close with this. 6 months is not a lifetime, it's a chapter. But the chapter you write in the next 180 days can redefine the rest of your life. I've seen it, I've coached it, I've lived it. Don't wait for motivation. Build a routine that doesn't need it. Don't wait for a miracle, become one. Wealth isn't just for the lucky, it's for the committed. So if you're stuck, this is your wake-up call. Get moving. You've got the steps. You've got the time. Now go make it happen. And if you've received this message at the very moment you needed it, I want you to type 6 months from now in the comment section and let the world know that your rise begins today.